I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous. Though it seems you're well accustomed to navigate.
Savage.
I'm fine.
Loosen up, Icaron.
No, an owlbear.
Toddlers are easier to please than you lot.
Beautiful night, don't you think? Nothing like a brush with destruction to make one appreciate the majesty of the celestial canvas. It's a view I would once have shared with my companion, though definitely unaccompanied by such revelry. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us. Ink glinting in the firelight.
By a Geraorn's lost nose! No! Tara is not any cat. She's a Tressum. And given your confusion, I'm guessing you've never met one. They're brilliant creatures. Fine company for any self-respecting wizard. She'd be most impressed by our efforts saving these tieflings. Proud, even. And I've given her little to be proud of recently.
After I was afflicted with my condition, and locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable, wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I'd given up on myself. But Tara never did. It was her encouragement, her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. After so long being cared for by someone else. Not directly to Tara, but to these poor tieflings. You remind me of her somewhat. There's a steeliness in you, an unwavering tenacity, even in the face. Wish she were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mystra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope.
I assure you, were you to meet Tara, you would see the comparison for the flattery it is. But perhaps that's not a point worth labouring further. Suffice it to say, I think rather a lot of you. And there aren't many on this plane who I'd give such high praise. Were I to recite that list, I fear we'd be here at dusk tomorrow. Many things, I assure you. But a conversation better saved for another time.
With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue excitement may tip it over the edge, so to speak.
Go. Indulge in the frivolities. They're good for the heart. And mine will be all the lighter to see you enjoying yourself.
Let's make it 20.
That's my girl.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Nyogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades. Yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. A pity for us both you've turned your back on me so often. Perhaps. Perhaps not. I will take pleasure when I wish, and from whom I wish. One day fortune may favor you.
Let them have fun. I'll be ruining it come
Yes?
morning.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
It's a heavy, rich red. Dry and sharp.
See what I mean? Awful. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask? By the hells. Sex, my dear. A night of passion. Let's wait until things quieten down. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other. Indeed you will, my love. Indeed you will.
Spilled my pipes.
No more. I can't afford to lose any more of them.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. I saw you with Astarion. Far be it from me to judge. Blood must still be running a little hot after everything. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for? Exactly right. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. It's not talking enough for my liking. Share a bottle with me? Just a bottle. I think you have other plans afterwards. Wouldn't want to keep you. Well, maybe I would. But first come, first served.
Shadowheart says nothing, but the glimmer of interest in her eyes is unmistakable.
Best not keep me waiting.
Spilled my pints.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone. No. I'm deeply proud of you. A touch less so of myself. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the Grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party. Horns this sharp will pop the balloons, you see, and the guests won't take kindly to scars quite so monstrous. Ouch. You don't need to mock me when I'm feeling low. But, off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. I'm afraid my feet are firmly planted to the ground this evening. Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
Would you look at this place? All these people, happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. Speaking of possibilities, what's this I've been hearing about you and Astarion? Don't get me wrong. I'd ride him to the Feywild and back if I had the chance, but I wouldn't let my guard down around him. Good to see the two of you getting along anyway. At least one of us is getting a little action. Come on. I know I'm not really who you're interested in. And anyway, even if I were, you couldn't touch me without getting burnt to a crisp. Enjoy yourself tonight. You've earned it.
I can't afford to lose any more of them.
Don't let me drag you away. Enjoy yourself. You've earned a night of revelry.
Would you look at this place? All these people, happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. And with good potations, too. Fuck yes! I'm celebrating my freedom, and our friendship, and these folks' bright future besides. All I need now is a fire-retardant lover to get lost in till sunrise. Ah, come on. Let's not spoil an effective thing. You point, I rage, we win. Doesn't need to be more complicated than that.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
It's a heavy, rich red. Dry and sharp.
See what I mean? Awful. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask? Don't be so sour. I like a good time as much as anyone. You know, we could always make our own entertainment, darling. Get a little closer, so to speak. What? Please. Cheeky little pup.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Neogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades, yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. A pity for us you have promised your body to Astarion. I hope for your sake he doesn't come too near your neck. I will do no such thing. Not when you have turned your back on me so often. But come morning, you will wonder. You will wonder how my lips might have tasted, how my fingers on your skin might have felt. Oh, but do enjoy yourself this night. I intend to myself. Will looks particularly tempting.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. I saw you with Astarion. You two looked cozy. Far be it from me to judge. Blood must still be running a little hot after everything. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for? Exactly right. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. It's not talking enough for my liking.
Shadowheart trails off and glances around at the party. She turns back to you, mildly surprised you're still there.
I thought you might have wanted to mingle with the others. That's so. I won't pretend I'm not surprised. We haven't always seen eye to eye, after all. Besides, I'm sure there's plenty of people who'll be keen to celebrate most thoroughly with you. You're putting words in my mouth. I never said I disliked you. It's just, we have some work to do to get on each other's good sides. And yes, I'm sure there's someone out there for you. You should go see who'd like to spend the night with the savior of the grove. Maybe you would, but I'm not cruel enough to get your hopes up, in spite of what some might believe. I have no idea what you mean. Now on you go, and happy hunting. What, some advice on how to make me more bearable? All right, if you like. I'm not half as mysterious as you might think. Respect my privacy, my beliefs. Keep us focused on finding a cure. If you do that, well, I see no reason why we shouldn't get closer. Now, enough about me. You should go see who'd like to spend the night with the savior of the grove.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone. Really? I'm honored. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party.
Horns this sharp will pop the balloons, you see, and the guests won't take kindly to scars quite so monstrous.
If only half the world had half the heart you do. But, off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. It's a long shot, but maybe you've grown fond of me. If so, I'm afraid I must remain a passing fancy. If not, well, it wouldn't be my first misjudgment. It's a long shot, but maybe you've grown fond of me. If so, I'm afraid I must remain a passing fancy. If not, well, it wouldn't be my first misjudgment. Sometime alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
You're handsome.
You're drunk.
I am.
Spilled my pint.
Not like you needed it.
What are you going to do in the city?
There's always work for a guard. You?
Always going to sing at the Elfsong Tavern.
If the owner has any sense, they'll hire you on the spot. Come on, Elfie, make it spicy.
Right. Hearts a quiver. We raised our bows.
Get going.
None of that poetic stuff. Something like goblins swarmed, but we were brave. Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas? But of course, you achieved something far beyond mere fact. That deserves to be remembered.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow. In truth, I rarely imbibe. The stuff goes right to my head. Before you know it, I'd be breaking into song or declaring love to the first person I laid eyes on. Then you have never heard me singing, which makes you very fortunate. I'm sure there are. You strike me as extremely resourceful. But there are many grateful people here who want to spend time with you. I must not keep you all to myself, as enjoyable as that may be. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
Let's look for our own place.
Roland can finally...
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow. I'm sure there are. You strike me as extremely resourceful. But there are many grateful people here who want to spend time with you. I must not keep you all to myself, as enjoyable as that may be. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
If you desire conversation, please do find someone else.
There's always work for a guard. You?
I've always wanted to sing at the Elfsong Tavern.
If the owner has any sense, they'll hire...
Don't let me drag you away. Enjoy yourself. You've earned a night of revelry.
Not now.
Have fun.
Don't worry about me. I'm quite content to enjoy the party from here. Go. Enjoy yourself.
The buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. Your hand was sought by several, but there is only one night ahead. Whose company will you seek? At least for tonight. Your heart skips a beat. What treasures might this night bestow?
There you are. I've been waiting. Waiting since the moment I set eyes on you. Waiting to have you. Don't I? You're here. And I don't think you want to talk. I think you want to be known, to be tasted. This isn't about hunger. It's about pleasure. Yours, mine. Our collective ecstasy. That's what you want, isn't it? To lose yourself in me. I thought so. It's a poem. A gift from my old master, Cazador. He considered himself quite the artist and used his slaves as a canvas. He composed and carved that one over the course of a night. He made a lot of revisions as he went.
You recall the sharp, complex lines of the script. It was written in the language of the Hells.
Infernal? Who knows? The bastard was insane. Anyway, enough pillow talk. Let's go before the tieflings drag us into another mess.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another. I'm certain a cure for the journey specific.
We get a cure and the chance to hit these arseholes where they live. Sounds good.
Wait. To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. By all means, pursue any lead you may have. But I sense all roads will lead to Moonrise. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers. Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. You may reconsider once you see the effects of the curse for yourself. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. I advise you start in the Temple of Selûne. If you find the Dark Justiciar's hidden entrance, it could lead you all the way to Moonrise. One of the adventurers had a clue to help find it. A dwarf called Brian. It might still be found on his corpse, wherever the goblins left it. May Sylvanas guide us.
Do not be so impatient to move on as Halsin. As ever, the Githyanki Kresh remains our priority.
Copper for your thoughts? Depends on the type. Ice Devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I suppose you want to hear about Khazad-dûm. I don't want to say a damned thing, but that won't do anyone any good. Khazad-dûm is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate, the patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. He had me go out into Baldur's Gate to fetch him the most beautiful souls I could find. It was a fun little ritual of his. I'd bring them back, and he'd ask if I wanted to dine with him. And if I said yes, he'd serve me a dead, putrid rat. Of course, if I said no, he'd have me flayed. Hard to say which was worse. Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there, and they might not be the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. What more could I ask? Now, is that all?
At least things have stayed interesting.
I do enjoy our conversations. What do you need?
Here's ripe with magic. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Hello, beautiful. Perhaps if you lost a follower, well, in that case... Trust no one.
No one's stopped me yet.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? Fine. What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Soldier?
Speak. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasite served a Geich elder. But I believe an elder brain to split one. Many would nigh lose their minds just to near one. I expect I am your first. I suppose I am as alien to you. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake. It was an observation, no matter. I do not intend to stay long. I understand. More to the point. It is imperative we locate a creche. Yes, then your bones will all skip. Then you have ceased to exist. And a mind flame. Words forged in steel. We must find... The first symptoms should have long since started, though. Yes, bad. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Oakfather's blessings to you. It's had the whole... Those who remain, we have to get to Moonrise. But I studied a drow at hideous, but fascinating. Like precious little. Aradin was convinced there was a hidden entrance in the Temple of Saluna. There are few things that are in other circumstances. I would have done the same. A bad impression. Hopefully. I've chosen a successor as first. I need her to stay. The Grove. This is why I chose friend. Contrary to how some think of us. There's also. I helped. Oh, if I can join you and get close to Moon. Well, Kether. I studied the Shadow Curse for years. Perhaps. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, with such stimulating precisely. But in my eagerness, miss it. Be wary of. I'm just glad to be out here amidst.
How can I help? How can I help? Ah, yeah. Karsus was... And he tried... Mistral. As Karsus. Too late did it... The goddess of... It was the end of Mistral. The end of Karsus and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. For a spell. Mistral was reborn as now, so try to Gale's folly, one might call it. If it should ever, I will await. I promise. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Tell me, what can I do for you?
Speak.
So I did. And he wanted only to talk. You both lack imagination. Eye to eye with bliss, and you choose banality in its stead.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. My old Cazador, not political pal. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. He had me go out into Baldur's Gate. It was Of course, if I said no, he'd have me flayed. Hard to say which was worse. My point is simple. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. If you think they'll take me and spare you, but at least we know where we all stand.
The year I was a kid looking through the... She put the 10 years of that. I'll mete out the best one. Demon, sharp... Anyway, what were we talking about?
Something the matter? Fine. What's on your mind? You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly. And I haven't forgotten that you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid.
Well met. Have a lot on my mind. Well, in it.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a man with one eye.
Keep a blade close.
Elminster's not around, so might as well.
Still alive. So that's progress.
Hey, soldier. No room in your party. What should I do? Excellent.
One with the weave.
Let's march!
despite everything.
We're a long way from Waterdeep.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Your desire.
Best get going.
Ready and willing.
Can't give up now.
You have my attention.
Looking ahead.
Salutations.
I've got a long road ahead.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Direct me.